Greetings from yesterday.
Hang on. Why does Amazon do that? I ordered 2 books to arrive today and they've sent them to me in 2 separate parcels but delivered them at the exact same time. Why have you done that, Amazon? So I know I spoke the other day about New Year's and habits, and one of the things I'm trying to do at the moment is read more. So I've ordered myself a couple of books. I listened to Jack Mate's Happy Hour podcast. That probably shouldn't come as a surprise. And ages ago, maybe like a year ago, Robbie Knox recommended this book. So hopefully this will be good. Kill Your Friends. Probably alarming if you're a friend of mine watching this right now. There isn't really a set goal with reading the books, but I've been reading before I go to bed each night, and it's become quite a nice nighttime routine. I've not had my phone or any screens in the room. I realised I was in the dark back there. So I'm leaving my phone out of the room and reading for about 20 minutes before I fall asleep. And I'll be honest with you, it's helping me sleep pretty well at the moment. I'm also hoping to read this book, Tony Hawk's Round Island with a Fridge. Not Tony Hawk's like the skater Tony Hawk's, the author Tony Hawk's. Also, it's quite dark over here, so hopefully that'll make a bit of difference. I spoke to my nan a couple of months ago. I've spoken to her since then, but a couple of months ago, she was telling me that she likes going out to meet a particular friend of hers because when she goes out to meet them, they don't talk about all the people they know that are old or are dying or don't spend time talking about their ailments. My nan's attitude was very much like, it's okay, I know we're old, I know the people we know are dying, I know we all have ailments, can we talk about something else? The reason she liked meeting this particular friend is because when they meet up, they talk about the books that they've been reading. So with that in mind, if anyone has read either of these books or intends to read either of these books or has any recommendations for me, let me know. Put them in the comments down below. Maybe we can start a little bit of a book club. I'm going to start with this one, Round Island with a Fridge. The blurb reads, a foolhardy attempt to win a drunken bet led to Tony Hawk having one of the most unforgettable experiences of his life. Joined by his trusty travelling companion come domestic appliance, he found himself in the midst of remarkable, inspirational, and at times downright silly adventure.
Who doesn't love a little bit of silly?
In their month of madness, Tony and his fridge surfed together, entered a bachelor festival, and one of them had sex without the other knowing. The fridge got christened, and they even met the poorest king on earth.
I think that sounds like a book well worth reading.
Going back to a moment ago when I told you about what my nan said to me a few months ago, I really sort of sympathise with what she was saying. Sometimes when we meet groups of people, all they ever do is discuss the same thing. And in her instance, she enjoys meeting this one particular friend because that isn't the conversation. They've talked about books, but that doesn't necessarily need to be what you talk about. It's like when you go for drinks with work colleagues and you just start talking about work, and it's never really good things. It's always moaning about a colleague. Can you believe that Sandra did this? Or moaning about your boss. Can you believe that Luke did that? And to be honest with you, a lot of those conversations are quite fun. Everybody loves a good bitch, but I did sympathise with my nan's desire to talk about something else other than the thing that everyone wanted to talk about. And this is particularly prevalent because I don't know what I want to talk about today. What does Google suggest? Interesting conversation topics. 98 interesting conversation topics. Spark fun and unexpected conversations. Shall we try this? Number 1. What is the most beautiful song you've heard? Wow, I have no idea. What is the most beautiful song I've heard? I don't know if this counts as the most beautiful song I've ever heard, but it was the first thing that came to me. When I was younger, my mum told me that the Verve's Bittersweet Symphony made me think about a family member who's unfortunately no longer with us. So that's what came to mind just then. What is the song that gets you pumped every time it comes on? Wow, a lot of these are music-based. I'm probably not going to do all 98 of these. I'm probably just going to skip a couple of these. Probably something Muse-based. Ever since 2003, Muse have been my favourite band. And let's be honest with you, I'm pretty much stuck in 2003. Look at this stuff. Pokemon, Tony Hawk's, I'm stuck in 2003. A lot of these are quite nasty. Who's your most annoying friend? That doesn't feel like nice to answer.
But you are watching and you do know who you are.
What's a hobby you've always wanted to try? That's difficult.
I don't know, I've tried most things. I would like to try brewing a beer, so maybe that.
If you had a uniform that you had to wear every day, what would it be? Sexy nurse. Next. Do you still consider Pluto to be a planet? As if I'm in any way qualified to make that decision. Yes, because my very easy method just shows us 9 planets. I can't just go 9 and then finish there, and also have the last word be wrong. So yeah, I guess I do.
So take that, NASA.
If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you choose? I don't know, but it would probably be up a mountain. I do have a bit of a thing for mountains, but the thing is, when you're up a mountain, you're going to start craving some city life, but probably a mountain.
Hotel or tent? Neither. Van.
If your best friend wrote a book about you, what would the title be? What about your worst enemy? Okay, if my best friend wrote a book about me, they would probably call it A Tale of Two Pizzas. I don't really know why. I like pizza and I could probably eat two. What would my worst enemy call me? I don't really have a worst enemy. Do people have worst enemies? I guess they call me stupid wannabe YouTuber. Neither of those are quite as gripping as Round Island with a fridge though. Maybe Googling conversation topics isn't the way to go. I think I'll stick with the book club. I am going to read this book. If anyone else is going to read it, let me know in the comment section down below and we can discuss it at some point in the future. But until then, I'll see you tomorrow and don't forget, don't be a dick.